Before the sharing, can we have someone who prepared some like a song to sing, if there is any? Sister Maggie? Okay, looks like no one prepared. Okay.
I think Brother Svarda is a song.
Oh, Brother Simanika want to sing. Okay.
Yes, okay. I'm going
Yes,
to sing.
sir, you can go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to sing a very common song. I'm going to sing 331 SDA,
Okay.
Oh Jesus, I have promised.
Okay.
Forgive me for the voice also.
Thank you very much.
Oh Jesus, I have promised to serve thee to the end. Be thou forever near me, my master and my friend. I shall not fear the battle if thou art by my side. No wonder from the pathway if thou wilt be my guide. To thee near me, the world is ever near. I see the sights that dazzle the temple. My foes are around, but Jesus draw thou nearer and shield my soul from sin.
Amen. Thank you very much, Brother Simanika. Now we are going to go through the chapter today, and it is chapter 17, which title is The Use of Remedies. So the person who was appointed to share can go ahead with the sharing.
Evening, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are, sir.
So we are chapter 17, the use of remedies. Can we put our background sound off with the Stephens Blue? Is that you? Someone's watching news? Okay.
It's a gift.
So we are looking on chapter 17, the use of remedies. And the first line says, diseases never come without a cause. So every disease is a cause that brought it to our bodies, and some way, somehow, we got it from something. A greater number, however, suffer because of their own wrong course of action. So most of the disease are brought from our own course of action, the way we eat, the way we live, our daily routine of doing things may cause and disease, the way we walk, and everything is an effect in us. It says that most of them are the habits of eating, drinking, dressing, and walking. So these are most of the stuff that bring disease unto us, and also breaking the law of health. Most of us neglect that principle, but we don't obey the law of health. I think the previous chapter we've read, we say those who disobey the law of health cause they are sinning. So then most of them who get these diseases often complain and say, murmur against God on their afflictions. They think that it's God who brought those sufferings unto them. But God is not responsible for the suffering that allows the disgrade of the natural law. So most of us are the cause of our suffering are caused by ourselves, by disobeying the law, the nature, the law of nature. And we like blaming God that why is God bringing this upon us? So we must just be careful on what we eat and how we live our lifestyles. It really has an influence on the disease that we have. Then he says that he has also found us with, say God gave us organs, and these organs has to function in our lives, no? They have a function to play. The lungs, the liver, the heart, the brain, the stomach, every organ, as those are in describe, or those who did science. I only did my science until grade 10. Everyone is, and if every organ has a role to play in our body, and these organs just have to be in harmony with one another. If we carefully preserve our God-given strength and keep delegate mechanism of the body in order, the result is health. But if we use strength recklessly and wastefully, and the nervous system borrows power from patient use from these sources of strength. So, and when one organ is injured, all are affected. So when the liver is affected, all other organs are also affected. All these organs of our body have to play around, have to work together in order to function properly. If when one is dead, all of them are dead. Rational remedies. The first thing to do is to associate the true character of the sickness and then go work intelligently to remove the cause. So first of all, when we are sick or when we have a disease, always is to find the cause, no? When you can find the cause of something, it's very easy to destroy it. We know what is the cause. The time we'll know what is the cause of COVID-19, I think everyone will be able to handle themselves carefully. But because we don't know what is the cause of COVID-19, it's very difficult to handle ourselves. This is even the same thing that the book is saying. So let us try to find the cause. What does it bring us to have constant headache? What does it bring us to have constant running stomach? What does it have to have constant bleeding? So all when you find the cause, very easy to fight against any disease in the body. It says intemperance eating is often the cause of sickness, and what nature most need is to relieve of the undue burden that has been placed upon her. So most of us, the way we eat, as we said from the beginning, is really one of the causes that cause us to have sickness. We just eat anything that comes in our mind. Here they say that in many cases of sickness, the very best remedy is for a patient to fast for a meal or two that the overworked organs of digestion may have and pushing it to rest. Sometimes what causes us to have certain disease in our body is certain food. So sometimes we must give a rest to our organ. Have a 2-day fast of meals, and just go for maybe fruits diet for a day, just to let the stomach be fine. Says a fruit diet for a few days is often brought great relief to the brain worker. So as we can see that sometimes with running stomach, you know what is the cause? Give a fast to your stomach. Maybe you overate a lot of pizza. Maybe you overate a lot of things. You never know what you ate, where you went. So sometimes go for a fruit diet for 2 days just to relieve the system. See that many times a short period of absence from food allow a simple. You can see that when we have some certain days, just to relieve our body, just not to eat for certain days, it will be for our own good and for our own health. No, the body is relieved and it becomes back to its normal way. A temperance diet for a month or two will convince many suffering that the path of self-denial is the path to health. Sometimes you have to deny certain food. No, the doctor. Some of us just want to be told by the doctor, stop taking caffeine. Then we will know that I think it's serious. That you only have 3 months to live or 5 years. You'll be taking this serious. But if we take it from the beginning, I think from the beginning you also learn a principle that it's better to prevent than going for the cure at the end of the day. So let us prevent everything that we have now in order to not to get these diseases. Rest as a remedy. I think here's where most of us, the students, we came, those who went to school, those who finished, I think we all came across this. Rest is one of the difficult things to manage Even those who are working, we overwork, and most of the time our body has little time to rest. Some make themselves sick by overwork. For this rest, freedom from care and spare diet external for restoring of the health. So sometimes what we only need sometimes is to rest. Sometimes you overwork and you can't think properly. I think I have an experience of this one time. I think December I overworked a lot. I worked overtime. I think till 10, and I came to a point where my brain where my brain it says that when my brain, just hold on a bit. Sorry, I was just trying to people were making noise in the background. So as I said, sometimes we overwork, and I says I'm one of the victims. I overwork so much December, and I felt that there was a time my brain could not. You don't function properly. You just want whatever you do. You're just like overstressing. So sometimes it's very good to have a rest. Says taking a walk through the fields and woods and picking flowers, listening to songs of the birds will do more than any agency towards the recovery. So one time you don't rest enough, you overwork at work. Just go to the countryside, go to the bush, go somewhere, take a walk, no? Listen to nature. I think it will be a great relief for us to rest. What we're getting is that in health and in sickness, pure water is one of heaven choice of blessings. So water is very important for our body. We all know we have to drink 10 liters of water. So it's better to drink water than drinking a lot of alcohol, you see, or drinking a lot of juice. Our body needs water in order to function properly. No, water goes in the body. If I am correct, those who are nurses or doctors, we know that if you drink a lot of water, it cleans also your liver. Is very healthy, but don't overdrink a lot of water. It is, it is proper use promotes health. Drink freely, it helps to supply necessity of the system and assist nature to resist diseases. Then another very important one, I know is winter, but we may run away from it. Says external application of water is one of the easiest and most satisfactory ways of regulating the circulation of the blood. So taking a bath regularly is very important. I know it's winter, we want to go for cowboy flash, we want to go for shortcut, just the head, the face, and your body want to run to work. But it's very important to bath every day. No, it helps in the blood circulation as we are, no, in our daily life. So let us always take a cool, a cold or a cool bath, no, in order to help us to extend out to say tonic in our bodies. A warm bath opens the pores, and this, as you can see from the screen. So it's important to use water to bath. Is that, but many have never learned an experience of the beneficial effect of the proper use of water. Water transmitters are not appreciated as they should be and apply them skillfully required work that may unwilling perform. So it's very important to take water. There are many ways in which water can be applied: relief, appoint pain, and chest, check diseases. So water is important. Drink it, bath, and use it as much as possible. It's one of the free blessings that are given from heaven. Says normal action of all organs gives strength to vigor, while the tendency of disgust is towards decay and death. So inactivity is a fruit of the causes disease. No, being active, being in, just sitting at home doing nothing. Is one of the causes of disease in our body because we have nothing to do. It says exercise quickens and utilizes and circulation of the blood, but in idleness the blood does not circulate freely and changes in it. So necessary to live the health and do not take place. So it's very important for us to exercise because it helps in the circulation of the blood. Because if you just stay idleness, there's nothing to do. There's ministers, teachers, students, and other brain workers often suffer from illness as the result of severe mental tax, tax, taxation. Is that the correct? Is that the word taxation? Sorry for mispronouncing. And relieved by physical exercise. What this person needs is more active life. Sometimes we sit with our bodies intoxicated take them. Our mentalist, no, we have nothing, and we are just there. We can't be released. So sometimes we need physical exercise just to know to be free, to get more fresh air. Says outdoor exercise is the best, and it should be supplemented as strength by use of organs that have become weakened. So I'm not saying those who go to the gym is wrong, but sometimes we need fresh air. Going to the gym, no, gym is a closed place and everyone is breathing the same air. And it's not very healthy to go there. And sometimes exercise is better to do it in the open air. If you have irons to push, the best way is not to be inside the house where it's closed, where you are sweating. Best place to go outside, if proper ventilation and if proper air. You know that when you're outside and you are gym, because you must do exercise must be doing in the open space. So we saw already inactivity. If you are not active, is the cause of many diseases. And it's always important when our muscles are working, no, you don't get like stretch, and others is you don't get like your body circulation of blood is much easier in your body, because we need that. When your body circulates, they also avoid, I think, is that clogging in the blood that prevents stroke. So it's very good to exercise. So when exercise, we know our body becomes much better. It says that engaging in severe study or violating physical exercise immediately after eating hides the work of digestion. So after you've eaten, it's not good to take a physical exercise, a very heavy exercise, because it disturbs the process of digestion. But a short walk after a meal with head erected and a shoulder back is a great benefit. So after eating, it's not good to do a very heavy exercise. All you have to do, just take a walk, no, after a meal, and erect your neck up and down and your and shoulder back. That will be a great benefit to you. Says many neglect physical exercise in spite of all that is said and written concerning its important. Most of us, we neglect it. Want just to be busy with life, sit in the office. In a day, in a week, take 2 days or one day off and just take a jog or walk around. It's very good for your health. As it goes, it says, is already says the liver is burdened in its effort to clean the blood, impose an illness is a result. So when we don't exercise properly, we don't drink a lot of water. One of the things that our liver always is an effect. So it's very important to exercise, drink more water, and it's good for you. Says walking is preferred, no, than driving. So if you have like going for, your house is just some 100 meters or 500 meters, no, 500 meters. Come on, just take a walk and you get there and buy your stuff. But most of us, we like taking shortcut driving, and that's not good. Our muscles are just, they just be because you're just sitting. So it's very good to take a walk, a distant walk, a 100-meter walk, go to the shop, just walk. If you have a car, just park the car. It also saves you much petrol. The lungs are forced in heavy action since it is impossible to walk briskly without fluctuating them. Fluctuating them. That's the correct word. Hope I can the end is. Say such exercise will in many cases do more than medicine to improve one's health. Physicians often advise their patients to take an ocean. So you go to the ocean, you have a view of it, go to some minerals springs or visit some places with different climates. No, if you are already a lot in window, go a bit to the coast, enjoy the sea. If you are not just somewhere without a river, go to the riverside, enjoy it. Those who are other side of the river, they have more advantage in us, no, enjoy nature. So that was the reason for today. So all our remedies are just in nature. We need to exercise, we need to drink a lot of water, we need to walk around, no, we need to have more fresh air. When we do this, it becomes much easier for us to live a healthy life. I hope I've touched what I could have touched. It's now open for discussion. I hope I was audible also.
Yes, you are. Thank you very much, Brother Camps, for the sharing. And now can have time for comments and questions if there is any. Any comment? Sister Martha?
All right. Yeah. Okay. I was just reminded of like a few instances that I have experienced firsthand. I remember a lecturer telling us about I think it's a Namibian athlete. I'm just not sure of his name, but he was telling us how this guy had almost all types of chronic illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, and I don't know what else. But then what this guy started doing is he started jogging, and he was also very fat. He was obese. And so this guy started exercising, and today as we speak, the guy is, doing a lot of the national marathon runs and then stuff like that. And all of these sicknesses that he had actually disappeared. He does not I remember clearly, I think he says he's no longer on this treatment of the diseases that he had. And from this we can clearly just learn and we have sufficient evidence to say that really what we need is not medication per se. Sometimes we really do, but most of the times what we need is just to um, allow our bodies to heal naturally, because just as it was summarized that also taking medication is just another burden because you're introducing a lot of chemicals and poisonous substances to your body. And then another incident that I was reminded of is an aunt of mine. She has been having problems, you know, conceiving and stuff, and she has been in the hospital in and out literally. But lately, when I went to their house, I think in April or March during the lockdown, I saw how she started taking or following a certain diet, and you'd be amazed to actually see that her diet is plant-based. And okay, not really plant-based, but she also takes in meat. But her diet coach or her dietitian or whoever it is that she's following um, actually encourages the type of diet that we are encouraged to have in church. And this is things like, organic food, no alcohol, no spices, no, all of these things. And it's difficult for her because, she's like, no, I want to have my wine, I want to have my whatever. But then the coach says, but you need to stop having these things. And she also complains about, pain. And she says she's tired of being in and out of the hospital. But this is exactly what we also need to learn to say that we really need to take care of our bodies, and the number one way of doing so is eating right, and of course exercising. And then okay, sorry for using so many scenarios, but I tend to learn a lot from what I see. And another experience was with myself, like a few years ago, I had this condition called acute colitis and whatnot. And um, when I first came to the doctor and they told me that that was what is wrong, um, I asked them if there's any type of food that I'm not supposed to eat. Brother Combs mentioned that no, most of the times we just wait for the doctors to tell us to stop drinking Coke, to stop smoking, to stop taking sugar because we have diabetes and whatnot. But in all honesty, sometimes the doctors do not even know these things. So what I did was I asked the doctor if there's, if I'm limited to eating certain types of food. And guess what her response was? She said, no, you can eat anything. I'm like, okay, but clearly from myself, I know that, this condition is aggravated when I eat certain stuff. But she's like, no, you can eat anything because you are now on medication and whatnot. But honestly, it just became worse. And the one thing that I did for myself, or that my mom actually decided, was that she decided to cut off certain food from my own diet. And so I stopped eating condiments, like, spices. And later on, I think it was last year, when I completely stopped drinking fizzy drinks. And this was also something that my mom told me already, like, I think 4 or 5 years ago, but I never really stopped. And I could tell that just from the way, just because I changed my diet, I could actually tell that I had improved so much. And we I can also testify as to say that if we really change our diets and the way we take care of our bodies, we can really, live a healthy lifestyle, or live healthy lives. Yes, that's my comment.
Amen. Thank you very much for this comment. If there is any other comment or a question, I saw a comment in the chat. I think it's from Brother Chamunzi, which says that research can't allow you. Um, I don't know. It was on that part when Brother Comes was talking about rest. That when I saw the comment in the chat. So I don't know if okay. Okay.
Brother Charlie?
Sister, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's Brother Comes also mentioned something about, when we become inactive, when our bodies become inactive, they tend to lose the meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. Okay. Yes, we tend,
Okay.
our bodies
So
tend to
should
lose.
we?
No, we can finish the 10 minutes. Let's finish it.
Okay, our bodies can tend to lose or like
Yeah.
the vigor when we are inactive. And I'm just reminded of a chapter that we also did. I think it was in Steps to Christ. And that in just as our bodies lose their vigor also when they are not exercised, or they, when we just let them be without them being active, that's also how our spiritual lives are. So just another encouragement also to us, that in as much as we try to exercise our physical bodies, we also need to you know get out there, and be active when it comes to evangelism, because then um, if we are not active in that aspect, then our spiritual lives will also deteriorate and wither away. So we must try to be very active and do evangelism and talk to people about Christ, and that is how we also tend to grow and keep rejuvenated in our spiritual lives.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And yeah, she talked about exercising. It's not only like to exercise our bodies, but also our faith. I think she posted something yesterday on the group, which was talking about this, that we should not only like um, be comfortable in what we know, the knowledge let's say that we got from the Bible. We should not be comfortable in that, but we should also try to really practice it and also apply it in our lives. That actually will help us to grow spiritually. Okay, if there is, is there someone wants to comment or okay? In absence of any comment or questions, I would like to ask Brother Comes to pray for us.
We are praying. Heavenly Master, we thank you once again for this wonderful evening that you take us through the topic of remedies, Father God. Now let us use what you gave us from nature, Master. Let us use the water effectively. Let us use the sunlight effectively. Let us use the air that you give us each morning. Let us use all the remedies available, Father God, because you've given to us for free. But all about everything, Father God, we ask for your blood that was in the cross of Calvary to be shed upon us as we live for this sinful life. In Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay. We don't have our prayer request. Do we have? Sister Mother?
We do, but then it's after the recording.
Sorry, you said?